Hello, Virgo Risings. I hope you are well. This is your monthly zodiac reading for the month of April 2025. Please check your sun, moon, and rising in case this reading does not resonate with you. Maybe your sun or your moon will, and because that may be the area of your chart that's being activated this month by the transits. As usual, we're going to get an overall energy theme for the month, tarot for each week, clarify that with more tarot, as well as correlate those messages to the astrological transits and get some additional oracle guidance. So let's see what Virgo risings need to know for the month of April. The Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance, higher knowing, number 3. So 3 is all about expression. It does represent the Holy Trinity, which is like mind, body, spirit. So this feels like a collaborative effort, right? 3, we can think of the 3 of Pentacles, collaborating, communication, understanding things in development. With the Spirit Whisper, it could be that you guys are really tapping in to that inner knowing, tapping into that divine guidance and that, that higher knowing that's here, really listening to that intuition this month. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Actually, I feel the need to do this instead. I apologize for that. My little one knocked on the door. Here in the first week, we've got the 2 of Wands in reverse, and this can represent not evaluating a situation fully, needing to make a plan to see where it is that you want to go. It can sometimes represent a bad partnership. It just really depends. This is the week that Venus retrograde is having a very harmonious conversation with the North Node in Pisces and Saturn in Pisces. And for you guys, Pisces sits in your 7th house. So maybe your 7th house represents interpersonal relationships. So this could consist of business partners, long-term co-workers, and personal relationships like romantic relationships, because it does represent marriage, but romantic relationships, business contracts, and long-term interpersonal relationships, right? So it could be that there's a particular situation that maybe you're not evaluating fully, whether that's a relationship or a business or work opportunity. So this is happening in your 7th house. Venus retrograde is about reevaluating what it is that we value. It's either going to reveal to us that we don't value the same things that we once did, or it's either going to reaffirm that we value what it is that we're currently working with. With this energy aligning with the North Node in Pisces, the North Node in Pisces is kind of where the energy is moving collectively. So we're moving into a space of compassion, understanding, and healing, a lot of divine wisdom. Pisces is a very spiritual sign. And with Saturn being there, it could potentially feel like having to reevaluate those values. You're very much feeling the restrictions that Saturn is kind of putting on where it is that you're trying to go. And that could be why you feel like you're not evaluating a situation fully. Maybe you're wanting to see something with rose-colored glasses, or really just wanting to maybe overlook any obstacles that you could be encountering. Here in the second week, judgment, needing to make that judgment call, coming into a space like of awakening and awareness, just kind of maybe awakening to a new aspect of yourself. This is the week that we have Mercury going direct within the sign of Pisces. Now, just because the energy is going direct does not mean that it's going to be up and moving like it just got out of bed. That's not what's going to happen. It kind of has like a week-ish, week and a half-ish time to kind of get its bearings. Mercury in Pisces does not always do very well because Pisces is doesn't have a lot of boundaries, right? There's no limits to Pisces. There's no clear direction because Pisces can go anywhere. So our thoughts, our ideas, and our communication could really be all over the place. But that being the case, this might actually allow this sense of surrender that is needed with Saturn in Pisces, this sense of surrender to really listen to that higher knowing, listen to that inner guidance, and coming into this sense of awakening. Here in the third week, the Empress in reverse. So you've got two major arcana already. We are in eclipse season and the South Node is currently sitting in your sign. So that doesn't necessarily surprise me that you guys are receiving major arcana cards. In the third week, the Empress in reverse is basically saying like it's almost like you're doing too much. Right? You're nurturing everybody else. You're nurturing everybody else's hobbies, their thoughts, their emotions. You're just doing way, way, way too much. Right? And here we have another 3. It's really difficult for the Empress to step into this new cycle or even step into this place of surrender and self-care when she's overwhelmed. She's overwhelmed by everybody else's needs. She's overwhelmed by everybody else's wants. She's overwhelmed by all of the things that are potentially occurring in her life. And so this is really difficult for her to handle, right? This is the week that we have the most astrological transits taking place. We've got the full moon in Libra happening. Full moons are a buildup and a culmination of energy, and the light of the moon is illuminating what it is that you need to see. Libra sits in your second house. Second house represents self-worth and self-value, or what we value. It represents self-worth. It represents what we value. It represents our material possessions, our financial aspects or finances. And it looks like when it comes to this second house, maybe you're not valuing yourself enough. And maybe that's what the full moon in Libra is eventually going to show you. You're not valuing yourself enough because you're putting all this time, energy, and effort into everybody else's things. You're not valuing what is important to you, right? So the full moon in Libra is probably going to highlight something along that lines. Now, this is also the week that we've got Mercury in Aries, because Mercury has now gone direct. He's now moved back into the sign of Aries. So our thoughts, ideas, and communication are much more bold, much more courageous, and a little bit more impulsive. But this energy is now sitting next to the sign of Neptune. Neptune is about sacrifice. What sacrifices are you willing to make for your own value to be appreciated? Okay. We also have on the 18th, Mars is moving into the sign of Leo, so the planet of action, aggression, war, violence, physical assertion, desire, is moving into your 12th house. Now, this is the house of the subconscious, so it could be that you guys are really motivated to figure out what it is that you need to do. You could be very motivated to listen to this divine guidance, listen to that higher knowing. It also could take on the form of your mental health is too much, right? It could be emotional outbursts due to anxiety, frustration, or depression, things like that. On the 19th, we have Taurus season starting. Anytime we transition into a new season, qualities and energies of that sign seem to take center stage. So with Taurus season, we're looking at being more grounded, slowing down, and being just a little bit more practical about the things that we approach. Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is still currently retrograde, right? So I do really feel like the full moon in Libra is kind of what's impacting you here, specifically when it comes to what it is that you value and how much you value yourself. Here in the last week, we have the King of Cups. This is when Taurus season, or this is when we experience a new moon in Taurus. New moon in Taurus, Taurus is going to be hitting your 9th house. This is your house of self-expansion. It's your house of long distance travel, culture, religious and moral beliefs. So here, it could be that the new moon actually provides you an opportunity to expand more, open yourself up more to this divine guidance. Because the cups, the King of Cups, even though he's very steady with what he does, his intuition and his ability to sense what's going on around him is very, very connected because he's emotionally regulated, right? He's gone from the ace to the king, so he has seen it and done it all when it comes to managing and learning how to adapt his emotions to his external environment. And as a result, he's now sitting on the throne. He understands that all of these things are going to occur, but he himself is very steady, right? He's on this rock. He's not going anywhere, right? So here with the new moon in Taurus, this could actually ask you, how can I be more emotionally regulated? How can I be steady and more consistent with tapping in to that self-expansion? How can I be more consistent tapping into that spiritual and divine guidance? Let's see what clarifying messages we get. Here in the first week, the Two of Wands in reverse, the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, not really evaluating a situation fully. Here we've got the Five of Pentacles, and it could feel like you're like, I'm being left out in the cold. I feel like I'm missing out. I'm just constantly encountering this hardship. And the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this could definitely have to do something around your career, finances, something of that nature, just what it is that you actually value. You're not really evaluating the situation fully. You feel like it almost feels like a closed door. Like you feel like there's just this area that you can't get into. It's like everybody else is inside, but for some reason you feel shut out of this space, whether that's the spiritual space, whether that's a work environment, whether that is just financially feeling successful, whatever the case may be, you just feel like there's this block. You feel like the door is shut, and for some reason you're not being allowed to get in. But the thing is that all you got to do is knock on the door, ask, hey, can I come in? And I know that can seem very reductive, but, and then here with the Four of Pentacles, what is it that you need to let go of? What are you holding on to that you need to let go of? Maybe it's the fact that you feel like you can't get through this door. Like I said, maybe all you need to do is knock. You're like, everybody else is being allowed in, but I'm not. Well, have you asked to come in? So with the Four of Pentacles, there's something that you need to open up to, and there's something that you need to let go of. Okay? Maybe it's the idea that you need to open up to be a little bit more. Maybe you need to plan a little better, for what it is that you're wanting to do. Like I said, with Pisces, this could very much be a career opportunity or something that you're working towards, something that you're putting a lot of tangible time and effort into. And instead of being like, well, this just isn't working, this is a bad partnership, what if it's reframing it to be like, okay, I feel like I keep coming up with these obstacles. Maybe I'm not fully evaluating the situation. Maybe I'm not looking at it for what it actually is. Here in the second week, Judgment, the 10 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so with Judgment in reverse, you're kind of coming into this sense of knowing and understanding, almost like this divine sense of acceptance, this divine awakening, so to speak. And the 10 of Swords is like, we are done with whatever situation we're dealing with. We're talking about Pisces still, so this is the 7th house. This is work or relationships, like business contracts or even relationships. You're like, I'm just done. I'm done with this. And you're ready to move on, ready to explore what else is out there, ready to let go of whatever it is that you've been trying to hold on to, right? If this is in the context of a relationship, sometimes people come into our lives and we're just not meant to, we're only meant to experience that for a very limited and finite amount of time, because there's something that we were meant to understand and work through or learn in that experience, which is why that person came into our lives. And it very much could be that whoever this individual is, it's just not the right partnership for you. It's not the right partnership for you. And it could feel very discouraging. However, the 4 of Pentacles is here to be like, look, we can just, let's open up and let's let it go. Let's let go of whatever it is we've been holding on to. Because here in the second week, when Mercury goes direct, it's almost like this feels almost like clarity. It feels very much like clarity. And again, that could go back to you're not seeing the situation for actually what it is. If somebody is shutting you out, then that is your clear indicator that that is not the best person for you. Okay. And it almost feels like that's what you're feeling and accepting here in this second week with Judgment. This kind of acceptance, this kind of surrender, and really making that judgment call to be like, and I just like cutting off all communication and just be like, I'm done. I'm walking away. Like you're no longer making yourself available for who or whatever that was. Here in the third week, this is the biggest week of the month. The Empress in reverse, the 6 of Pentacles, what are you investing your time in that you're not getting back? Because both of these energies suggest that you're putting a lot into something and you're not getting anything in return. And it's getting to the point where it's really struggling with the 7 of Swords. It could be, the 7 of Swords can represent deception. And there's a couple ways that we could read this. Again, if this is in the context of relationships, then it could very well be that someone is being deceptive. They're just not really, it doesn't necessarily feel like being deceptive, but they're just not being who they really truly are around you. This can also be interpreted that with you, I think I said with the full moon in the Libra is going to illuminate where you're not valuing yourself enough to put yourself first. And that's the self-deception. You think that if I continue to give my time, devote my time, invest in these other people, in these relationships, in this career, if I continue to invest my time in all of these other things, then that is what brings me value. When in reality, that's not actually what brings you value. You bring you value. right? And our choices reflect how much we value ourselves. Our choices reflect how we truly feel about ourselves. And that's a hard truth. So if you're putting all of this time, energy, and effort into other people, if you're consistently investing your time into endeavors and things that you just don't get anything back from, whether that, again, that's relationships or career, if you're continuing to do that, you are deceiving yourself. You're deceiving yourself that if I just put in a little bit more, if I just give it a little longer, if I just wait it out, then you're deceiving yourself, because that's not what's going to happen. And the full moon in Libra is going to show you that. Here in the fourth week, the King of Cups, the King of Swords in reverse, stay out of that head, and the Two of Swords. So for you, in order for you to not overthink the situation and really understand what choice you need to make, you really need to listen to your heart. As cliche as that sounds, you need to listen to your heart. You need to listen to that divine guidance and higher knowing, because chances are this energy is talking to you through this entire thing. But if you're trying to see the best in a situation, if you're having a hard time not seeing the situation for what it truly is, then you're not going to be able to hear that higher knowing, or you're going to hear it, but you're going to second guess it. You're going to second guess every choice. You're going to second guess everything. You're going to continue to make excuses as to why you can't just stop what you're doing and walk away. Okay? But the King of Cups is like, look, you need to make this decision. You know you need to make this decision, and you're gonna just have to listen to your gut on this one. You're gonna have to listen to your heart, and you're gonna have to listen to that intuitive gut feeling, that intuitive knowing, to see where it is that you really can go from here. Or not can go, where do you want to go? Because you can go anywhere. You could go right back to the situation if you want to. But is that really what you want to do? That was just poor shuffling. We're not going to take those. Look at the bigger picture. So right here with the Five of Pentacles, like, again, you're not evaluating the situation fully, right? The Five of Pentacles it's a feeling that's kind of generated off of what's happening right now. I'm not getting the results that I want. I'm not getting what it is that I want right now. And the Four of Pentacles is there to be like, let that go. Let it go. And focus more on the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture for you? Again, this is your 7th house. So this could be in regards to relationships, romantic partnerships, or even business contracts. Okay? Business partners, bosses, things like that. What actually do you value? What is the overall big picture? Here in the the second week, meditate and contemplate. Here, it's time for you to kind of explore what it is that you need to explore spiritually. You need to, any emotions that are coming up, any repeated thoughts that are coming up, any repeated patterns that you may be noticing, these are all things that need to be addressed. And the Eight of Cups is there to tell you, we need to go on this journey. We need to explore what this means for us. Okay. So if you're being forced to make a judgment call, or if you feel like I said, in regards to a relationship, if you just kind of come into this awareness where you kind of cut off contact, you need to allow yourself time to process that. Allow yourself time to process that. Because this is also Pisces energy. This Oracle card is Pisces energy. So again, Mercury going direct is going to kind of bring you to this space where you make that judgment call to just be completely done and to walk away. So give yourself time to actually process what's happening. Here in the third week, take time to breathe out. Like, you're doing way too much. Way too much. And like I said, if you think that by doing more, investing more is going to fill in that gap when it comes to how you value yourself, then that's why the Seven of Swords is there, because you're deceiving yourself. Doing more is not going to provide more value, when in reality, it looks like maybe doing less would. So take some time to breathe out around the full moon. Here in the last week, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Make that decision. Don't overthink it. Listen to your intuition and approach it with kind of this higher perspective. Like I said, this judgment card, this kind of higher awareness. Be like, look, again, if this is referring to a relationship, be like, look, we're just not right for each other, and I deserve to invest my time into a partnership where my value is actually appreciated. I deserve to put my time and effort into something that is actually appreciating what I'm investing. And it's okay that you're not ready to do that. It's okay. I forgive you. I accept what it is. I send you on your way with love. That's kind of what this energy is. It's time to release that negativity. It's time to release that overthinking and that overanalyzation. And it's really time to listen to your intuition. Open up that heart chakra. Step into that, drop down into that, into your body. Listen to that compassion, that empathy, and that kindness, and just be like, okay, here we are. But I'm letting it go. I'm done. I'm walking away. I hope this helped, Virgos. I hope you guys have an incredible month, and we will see you next time.